Dictes and Sayings of the Philosophers is an incunabulum, or early printed book that was translated by Anthony Woodville, printed by William Caxton and finished on November 18, 1477. Description: the book is a long prose text of quotations making a compendium of philosophers' words of wisdom, or Dictes morales des philosophers, according to the French manuscript from which it was translated, collected from biblical, classical, and legendary philosophers. Most passages are preceded by a biographical story of the philosopher that ranges from a few words to several pages. History: Caxton in 1476 travelled to Westminster from Bruges, where he had been running a successful printing business. He wanted to practice his new printing skills in his native country. He had perhaps learned printing technology in Cologne. The first book Caxton printed with a date was Dictes and Sayings of the Philosophers, although it is not usually regarded as the first book he had printed in England. The translation of Dictes and Sayings of the Philosophers from French to English was by Anthony Woodville, 2nd Earl Rivers, who did the translation on a voyage to the shrine of Santiago de Compostela. In 1473 the knight Louis de Brete had lent him a French manuscript, Les Dictes morales des Philosophers by Jean Guillaume de Thanville, whose turn of the 15th century French translation of a Latin work has a lineage that derives from an Arabic text. The Arabic Mukhtar al-Hakam wa Mahazin al-Kalim was written toward the middle of the 11th century by al-Mubashir ibn Fatih, an Egyptian emir. When Woodville finished with his translation from French to English, he handed the manuscript to Caxton for proofreading. Caxton revised the translation and added an epilogue. He pointed out that Woodville had omitted the remarks of Socrates concerning women. A chapter was then edited back in called Touching Women. Notability: this is the first dated book printed in England. It contains not only the date, but for the first time in England a printer's colophon showing the name of the printer and the place of publication. Bibliography: The Cambridge History of English and American Literature, Volume 2. Caxton, William. Dictionary of National Biography. London: Smith, Elder and Amp Co. 1885 to 1900.